Let's watch Ben Shabibo cry about fucking leftist
policy terms.
unity.
Remember that time that Joe Biden said he was going to be a moderate? Yeah, that was funny. That's funny. Some of us warned you that was not going to happen.
Dude, Ben is physically incapable. Oh, there's an update on the Newsmax thing. Ben is physically incapable of emoting like a human being. It's wild. It's like Cory Booker. Like, just say you're a fucking alien and move on, dude. Like, just say that you are a robot and you literally just can't do it. It makes more sense for you to admit this reality than to try to act like a human being. Ha 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 ha! I am laughing in a similar way that human beings laugh. Hypothetically, let's say that I was an alien and I only learned how to laugh from watching other human beings do that.
Yeah, that was funny. That's funny. Some of us warned you that was not going to happen. Some of us suggested to the so-called never Trump Republicans that you guys who keep saying Joe Biden is going to be a moderate uniter. Nope. No, he is not. He is simply a facade for the radical left. And what has happened? He is a facade for the radical left. All his administration has done so far is issue more executive orders in the first week of any term than any president in American history. And those executive orders are filled with things like boys should race in girls' sports. And also, we should make sure that racial equity is the basis of all of our policies, meaning racial favoritism based on supposed victimized status by group. So yeah, things are going great. Also, they're going to...
It's just funny because, like, those executive orders are bullshit. I didn't even fucking talk about them that much. And the reason why I didn't talk about them is because it's purely symbolic, okay? Like, and of course, that's the only thing that Ben Shabibo is going to talk about because, you know, that's such a big deal. Like, the policies about, like, we are going to pursue racial equity. It's not a bad policy, but it's not a real policy. It's just an executive order, okay? There's nothing beyond that. Just a statement, a promise that you are going to make. Okay, it's a promise with extra steps. So that in and of itself is already like toothless, right? So for Ben to fucking freak out over a relatively toothless thing is so classic Shabibo. It is remarkable. Just shut the fuck up, snowflake, okay?
Rammed through a $1.9 trillion COVID package that is unnecessary. It is not necessary. What we need right now is temporary help for people who are in need. We don't need more aid that is just thrown out the window to people who have jobs, who are currently working. We also don't need people to be paid more than they were making when they were actually working. That is not something that we require right now.
In the year 2020, bankruptcies filed in the year 2020. Bankruptcies filed decreased by 29%. The first month of COVID, where 60 million people lost their jobs, the peak of COVID, was also a month where the poverty rate got lower. The only reason why we were able to have any form of economic recovery was because the working poor actually had money. Okay? The argument isn't we shouldn't pay non-workers more than workers. The argument is we should pay workers more.
And yet that is exactly what is being proposed by Joe Biden. He's also proposing a raise to $15 minimum wage, which makes no sense federally because it turns out the states have widely variant styles of living. $15 goes a long way in Mississippi. It doesn't go halfway in New York. The idea of a federal minimum wage is...
Wait, Ben Shabibo wants to increase minimum wage in New York to... Wait, what? Is he saying he wants to increase minimum wage to fucking $30? And wait, that's crazy. Also, again, motherfucker, you just moved to Nashville, okay? Which is still pretty expensive in comparison to the rest of Tennessee. But no, $15 doesn't go a fucking long way in any part of this goddamn country. I'm sorry. People say $15 goes a long way in this part of the country, that part of the country. No, it doesn't, okay? It literally doesn't. Just because people currently are barely making ends meet with like $7 does not mean that they should continue to do so. Oh, you can just survive on that, so I don't understand. Why don't you just work for just shelter over your forehead? You know, just work for shelter. I mean, you're surviving. We'll give you slop every day. Okay? You'll just work for the company. Just engage in a feudal agreement. You're surviving on that. It's bullshit. That's how prisons work, lol. I know. It's also feudalism. Yeah, we'll instead of paying you, we'll pay you back in company credit.
Idiocy on its face, especially when it's raised to some exorbitant level that is greater than like 1/3 of all the wage earners in a particular state. In any case, Democrats, they could have come up with a compromise deal here. In fact, 10 Republicans headed on over to the White House to talk with Joe Biden.
Ben Shapiro wants to abolish the minimum wage. So I don't know what he's saying here. Like why is he acting like he's on board with like a compromise? I'm confused. Like he constantly talks about how there's no minimum wage in places like in Scandinavian countries. Of course, he leaves out incredibly significant details from that argument, which is, you know, labor contracts, collective bargaining agreements, and how much of the labor force it encompasses, which is nearly the the entire labor sector or entire labor force. But you know, he constantly talks about how great it would be if there was no minimum wage. So it's kind of weird that he's like even acting like he would be on board with like a compromise on the current minimum wage conversation.
Democrats headed on over. Democrats were meeting with Republicans. It was all supposed to be happy bipartisanship. Susan Collins led the way, the senator from Maine, and she was super happy to talk with Joe Biden.
It was a very good exchange of views. I wouldn't say that we came together on a package tonight. No one expected that in a 2-hour meeting. But what we did agree to do is to follow up and talk further. I think it was an excellent meeting, and we're very appreciative that as his first official meeting in the Oval Office, the president chose to spend so much time with us.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm glad that Susan Collins is feeling super flattered by spending time with Joe Biden. I mean, like, that's the best. It's when they spend time and they play, like, D&D, and it's just fantastic, right? They sit there, they play board games, they have a cup of tea. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are just going to ram through this bill. They're just going to ram it through. According to the Daily Wire, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy...
God, he's such a loser, dude. I mean, this is worth it. I mean, I know Joe Biden... I know Joe Biden is going to be a disappointment in the long run, or hopefully I am wrong on that. I have been wrong so far, but God, it kind of, for a brief moment, I watched these insufferable pricks get so mad that they do not maintain majority in the Senate. And that makes me so fucking happy, dude. It is great. It is great, dude. Hey, guess what, bitch? You don't have majority. So here's a thing you could have done. It's called winning elections. When you do that, you get to rule over the country in whatever way you want to, which sucks because Democrats are still the majority, and yet in the popular vote, of course, and yet they still end up losing elections in both the Senate and also in the Electoral College, of course. So, fuck, dude. Fuck, it makes my pee-pee hard watching them get so mad. It's like, why are they not compromising with us? Where was that? Where was that? Where was the compromise? Where was the C word? When we were ramming through gigantic taxes of the wealthy and corporations, where was that compromise? That didn't happen. So, you know. So how about you shut the fuck up, bitch, and take it? Oof, it's great. This is great. He's just upset. He's mad that like the Democrats, who conservatives have like tried to get murdered and shit, are not compromising with those very same conservatives. Crazy.
Nancy Pelosi introduced a joint resolution on Monday afternoon that will allow them to pass President Joe Biden's coronavirus stimulus package without needing support from the Republican Party. Introduction of a joint budget resolution is the first step to potentially enacting a budget reconciliation bill, one legislative tool available to Congress to quickly pass bipartisan COVID relief legislation. said a joint statement from the two Democratic leaders. The resolution outlines the reconciliation instructions for each House and Senate committee or how much funding can be spent in their jurisdictions. Congress has the responsibility to quickly deliver immediate comprehensive relief to the American people hurting from COVID-19. The cost of inaction is high and growing. The time for decisive action is now. Remember, it was Democrats who were holding this thing up while Trump was president. And they were holding it up before the election for months, even though there was a bipartisan deal in place. They rejected a big bipartisan deal in order to literally hold it up until after the election. Nancy Pelosi admitted that. But now is the time to make sure this gets done, and we're just going to ram this thing through. So while Susan Collins is doing happy talk with Joe Biden, Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, is like, yeah, I'm glad they came over, and yeah, we had some fun, and it was pretty great. We played Rummy Cube, but also we're not going to do anything they want. We're just going to do exactly what we want to do.
This is an exchange, an opportunity to exchange ideas, to have a conversation. That's why he invited them over here to the White House. There are some real impacts, which he will certainly reiterate, as he has publicly and privately in many conversations. But they've put forward some ideas. He's happy to hear from them. But he's also feels strongly about the need to make sure the size of the package meets this moment, and feels the American people expect that of their elected officials as well.
So in other words, I'm glad they showed up. Good to see them. Also, we're just going to completely ignore everything that they just had to say. Super bipartisanship happening right there. And it's like The Simpsons. Set that clock back to 0. Days since we broke bipartisanship. Right? Set that clock back to 0.
Oh. Boys, this is music to my ear, dude. This is good. This is good. I really, so good. I really do enjoy the sweet, sweet music making of Ben Shabibo's whiny little tone crying about having no bipartisanship, which, by the way, bipartisanship, what is that in this circumstance? It's, lowering the amount of relief that the American working class is going to get. Just remember, when Ben Shapiro says, like, why can't we have bipartisanship here? He's literally talking about how, like, the American working class does not deserve $1,400. Like, they shouldn't get that. So we should get together and decide to lower that. Well, guess what, bitch? And I can't believe I'm saying this again. In the words of Joe Biden's the chief of staff, I forget whoever said that yesterday. Unity does not mean uniting with the Republicans. Unity means uniting the American people. And the American people are certainly united on those fucking on those sweet 2K checks, baby. Yeah, it was Klain. Yeah, it was Ron Klain who said unity means doing what American people want, not what the Republican Party wants. And it's true. Ooh, it's so fucking good. I hope this stays. You get a couple quick dubs like this, you reignite some kind of you reinstill some kind of feeling of entitlement that American people should have in their government. You expect them to expect more from their government. All of a sudden, dude, there's a change in attitude, and I want that. I want that really bad. We need that.
It was at like not even a day, and setting it back to 0 right now. The White House.
By the way, I just want to say, the reason why this shit doesn't stick as much with like the whole like, transgender ban has been revoked from the military, blah, blah, blah. The reason why it doesn't get a lot of play is because there is a substitute for it. There is some form of economic policy that is at the forefront of the conversation, i.e. getting people money. If you, turns out, advocate for giving people more money, then that's all they will care about and not give a shit about the idiotic, like, trans ban being revoked. It turns out the American working class cares more about expanding social safety nets and getting money in their pocket than, the conservative culture wars bullshit that they fucking talk about nonstop. Weird. Who would have thought that would be the case, man? That's crazy. It's so wild. I'm just like super shocked. Now, that will change the moment I don't know what you're talking about. The Dems clearly weren't playing ball out of spite prior to having the majority in the Senate, and now they're strong-arming their positions. Literally fascism. Hell yeah, dumb gray name. Exactly. I love it.
Put a statement also. They said that the president and vice president had a substantive and productive discussion with Republican senators this evening at the White House. The group shared a desire to get help to the American people who are suffering through the worst health and economic crisis in a generation. While there were areas of agreement, the president also reiterated his view that Congress must respond boldly and urgently. Whenever Congress says bold and urgent, hold on to your wallet, man. Whenever a politician says bold and urgent, what they mean is we are going to spend more money than has ever been created by God or man.
Yeah. On the military. Which Ben Shapiro is totally on board with. Libertarian, by the way.
They noted many areas in which the Republican senator's proposal does not address the problems. Biden reiterated, while he is hopeful that the rescue plan can pass with bipartisan support, a reconciliation package is a path to achieve that end. The president also made clear that the American Rescue Plan was carefully designed to meet the stakes of the moment. Any changes in it cannot leave the nation short of its pressing needs. So in other words, thanks so much for stopping by. It's been fun. Also, we're going to completely ignore everything you have to say. Captain Unity, unitying it up over there. I mean, like, super.
Dude, oh my God, this is great. They're crying like fucking silly libs, dude. It's great. It's awesome. It's so fucking awesome. He is so mad. I can watch this. I can watch this over and over again. It's so great. They're not doing unity. Fuck you, dude. Come on, dude. Listen. Liberals who come in here to maybe get a crumb of radicalization. Think about how good this feeling is, okay? Just capture that essence, put it in a fucking little bottle, and that's precisely why you advocate for the Democratic Party to be more aggressive and to actually side with the working class. If you don't give a fuck about the working class, do it because it makes conservatives super fucking mad, okay? And also, the other side of this is you got to fight like hell to also win elections. American people are not completely unified on the checks. No, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. What you're saying does not matter. Unity doesn't mean 99.9% of people are going to be on board. It means enough people, majority, are on board. Okay? The Republican hogs are literally brainwashed. I had a customer tell me he didn't want to check because it will make people lazy and complacent. I want to kick him in the throat. Yeah, he's a cuck. What do I say to people that come in here and say, well, should I get money from the government? Like, I kind of don't need it. Like, I don't know what to do with that. What do I always say? Shut the fuck up, you stupid fuck. Do you think rich people ever say, oh, I'm sorry, government, we don't want more money? No, they are entitled as fuck and they expect it. They lobby for it and they get very mad when the government doesn't give them the billions of dollars in subsidies. So stop having that fucking dumbass peasant mentality, okay? Do you think a rich person has ever said, please, I do not need billions of dollars in subsidies? No, they're like, why am I not getting $2 billion in subsidies? Come on, dude. Come the fuck on. Take the fucking check. It's literally nothing. It's nothing.
Lots of unity happening inside the Democratic Party. So here's what we've gotten in the age of unity, the new golden era so far. We have gotten, if you
really don't know what to do with your free stimmy money, give some subs to Hassan and Twitch Prime. Keg W. I'm not going to say no to that, brother. No, actually, I will say no to that. Invest in yourself, okay? Invest in yourself. Be a little bit more wise. And I don't mean like put it in the stock market. I mean like literally, buy yourself something nice if you literally have fucking disposable income. Buy your mom something nice. Don't be fucking stupid.
Convict Trump in the impeachment trial. This means that you are in league with the January 6th rioters. That if you believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a nut job and a crazy person, but also you can't expel her from Congress for stuff that she said before the election, that's why we have an election process in the United States, that if you actually believe that, you can remove her from committees and stuff, that makes you the party of Marjorie Taylor Greene. And also, if you want to cut a deal on stimulus, if you want to cut a deal on COVID relief, like right now, and you've wanted to for months, but it's not Joe Biden's deal, we're just going to ignore you. So super unity happening right now. Loving the unity, feeling.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. I don't know. I think I'm violating Twitch terms of service right now.
The unity.
God.
There's no unity. I hope you enjoy.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, that's good. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I need that. I need that more. I need Democrats to stop fucking being bitches in the way that they used to be and keep on with this like no unity shit. Win the fucking midterms too. And I do believe I do legitimately believe that if Dems keep doing this, if they keep doing this and they don't back down